Coming up, it's official.
I am deeply, deeply disappointed that our exhaustive efforts, that the Haslam Sports Group has chosen to pursue a move to Brook Park.
A pivotal moment for the Browns organization and the city of Cleveland.
You start thinking about the real loss in business that it's going to be. You know, that's 8 or 9 games a year that you're seeing, not to mention all the concerts and everything that happened down there in the summer.
Tonight, fans are reacting to the news.
I'm happy with it. Plus, I like the fact they're building the dome.
Not going to be a season ticket holder anymore.
As the city prepares to close a long chapter on the lakefront.
My team and I stand ready to re-engage with the Haslams if the Brook Park option does not prove viable.
And good evening on this historic day in Northeast Ohio.
As you've heard, I'm sure, the Browns say that they will move to Brook Park and build a brand new domed stadium. Mayor Justin Bibb there and the Haslams confirming the news this afternoon.
We're covering all angles tonight, from fans and downtown businesses to the mayor of Brook Park and his response. Also coming up, a live interview with Cleveland City Council President Blaine Griffin. But we begin with what a measured but clearly displeased Mayor Justin Bibb said at a news conference this afternoon.
Annabelle Childers was inside the room as Mayor Bibb made the announcement. Annabelle, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, Mayor Bibb made that announcement just a few hours ago to reporters and then also to the public through a live stream. And he was very upfront with both his disappointment and his frustration. He also talked about what this is going to mean for the city when we talk about economic impact. Now, Bibb says his administration worked relentlessly to try and come up with options for the Browns to stay in downtown. And over the last few weeks, they even explored the option of building a dome stadium on a portion of Burke Lakefront Airport. But ultimately, they couldn't get the Haslams on board to keep this stadium downtown. The mayor says his team conducted an economic study, and the Browns' move will result in an estimated loss of $30 million in economic impact annually.
I want you to know this. I stand with you. I'm fighting for you. We have exhausted every single option to keep the Browns in our great city without compromising the general revenue of our city. And we remain committed to doing what we can to keep the Browns in Cleveland if Brook Park is not viable.
Another day, though. I think today.
Now, this afternoon, the Haslams responded with a statement saying they worked with the city and mayor in good faith to discuss options to stay in the city. They wrote, "We pursued many possibilities with our initial focus on renovating the current stadium and engaged design, construction, and engineering experts to develop a plan to do so. We also explored building a new stadium on multiple sites, both within and outside of Cleveland. We've learned through our exhaustive work that renovating our current stadium will simply not solve many operational issues and would be a short-term approach." Now, the Haslams argue that this move to Brook Park is going to be beneficial for all of Northeast Ohio in terms of attracting jobs and then also attracting big events. We've linked their full statement on our website at WKYC.com.
Okay, Annabelle Childers, thank you so much. All right, now let's go to Brook Park and get a reaction from there. Mitty Hicks joins us live with that. Hi, Mitty.
Good evening, Russ. I'll tell you this. When we wrapped up that conversation with the mayor, we overheard him talking to someone on his staff about how he's getting a lot of calls from residents. And residents are asking him, "Hey, Mayor, did you know the Brown Stadium is moving to Brook Park?" So I guess you can say, Russ, there's a lot of excitement here. The mayor really honed in that this will be a great opportunity and a great time for the region. He says that the stadium will turn Brook Park into a go-to destination. Another thing he talked a lot about, logistics, logistics, logistics. He says getting out of the stadium will be easier here than downtown Cleveland. He says Brook Park is the perfect location because of the infrastructure. He says logistically, Brook Park has everything from a highway system, a RTA rapid station, and the airport. He also talked about how this is bigger than football because this stadium means more events. Take a listen.
You know, as the mayor of Brook Park, as there's been talk about a dome stadium here, I've heard nothing but positive things. I've heard people say, "Hey, Mayor, I really hope that comes there." And it's because there's more events that we can do here. It's not just about football. We can have esports events here. We can have more concerts here. We have parking that will be right around the stadium. It'll be more convenient. So I really don't know if it's going to be this terrible experience that maybe a few are talking about. I've only learned that people are really excited about this project.
Now, the mayor says this will be a more than $2 billion project, and we asked him, so what happens now? He says nothing. In fact, he's ready to roll up his sleeves, get to work with businesses to bring the stadium here for the residents, and not just the residents, but the Browns fans as well, Christy.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Mitty, thank you so much.
And joining us now with more reaction is Cleveland City Council President Blaine Griffin. President Griffin, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Russ.
What is your reaction to this news today?
I'm not going to overreact. I think that there's still a lot of moving parts. I think there's still a lot of discussions to happen. And quite frankly, from what I've been hearing from several people who are in this arena, say that the Brook Park deal just mathematically is not going to work. The state is not going to come to the table unless they also have to give it to Cincinnati, as well as, you know, other factors like the county is not coming to place.
So you still think there's a possibility they'll stay downtown?
I still think that there's other conversations to be had, and I'm going to always keep advocating for downtown and the central business district, because we have to start thinking about a region and how this would impact the region. Everybody knows that the trend for most stadiums is that people are leaving the exurban and suburban areas and coming to the central city so that they can have a center city experience. So I am going to continue to argue, make a statement for the central business district, and I think it still can happen.
And the Haslam statement today, pretty determined on their part, but let's see what happens there. I want to ask you about this art Modell law. The city said it would pursue this Modell law, and I'm going to say this very basically, requires sports teams to give their respective cities 6 months notice before leaving town, and to give the city or area residents a chance to buy the team. Otherwise, those owners get sued. What can you tell us about this, and how vigorously do you think the city will pursue this?
In addition to that, it also says that we can find local investors in order to buy the team as well. But what I would tell you is that we expect for the administration and the mayor and his law department to uphold the law and enforce that, and be able to do that in a way that we can make sure that we get the best deal for the city of Cleveland. So we have passed a unanimous resolution from Cleveland City Council instructing the mayor and the law director that we expect for them to uphold that law.
Do you think the city could have done it? How about this? Do you think the city did everything it could to avoid this conversation today?
I was not at the negotiating table. I was kept apprised at times, especially when the mayor first acknowledged that he put out a $461 million package or something like that. And but I was not at the negotiating table. The negotiating powers reside in the mayor's hands. One of the things we want to do as Cleveland City Council, we want to understand where this may have broken down, and we also want to understand where there's an opportunity to revive the deal. So we all have said, all of the leaders in the area have really doubled down that the Central Business District is the place that this stadium needs to be. And I really would love to see some of the renderings that we've seen early on when they were talking about renovating the stadium, because they were very compelling as well.
I've got about 30 seconds left. A lot of people in the city of Cleveland disappointed by this. Anything you want them to know about what the city is doing, or what would you say to those disappointed folks today?
We're going to continue to fight. We're not going to go away. This is not just a done deal. We're going to continue to look at every avenue that we can in order to make sure that we keep one of our biggest corporate partners in town. Hopefully we can continue to have discussions, and then if we need to look at alternative ways to be a regional approach to this, then I hope Brook Park is willing to talk to us and make sure that we have revenue sharing agreements and other things that can be helpful with the city of Cleveland.
The headline here is the city is not giving up, is what I hear you say.
Not giving up, and once again, I still believe that there's going to be conversations that everybody has. Please block out the noise and let's continue to have conversations.
Okay. Cleveland City Council President Blaine Griffin, as always.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a lot of emotions attached for Browns fans to this news tonight. We were able to talk with some of them and what this means to them. Bryant McCrae, in fact, is live downtown right now. Bryant, what did some of the fans tell you?
Hey, yeah, good evening, Christy. It really is a mixed bag of emotions. Fans telling me that if the Browns were to leave downtown Cleveland, it takes with it that vibrancy and energy the team brings with it downtown. Now, we talked to some fans and broke the news to the fans that the Browns were leaving downtown Cleveland as they were getting ready to watch the Guardians take on the New York Yankees earlier today. Cleveland Brown fans telling us sports are really driven by the lakefront. They tell us that all the sports teams come down here, and the lakefront really does drive the sports industry. Some fans telling us that the Browns leaving to go to Brook Park is a kind of a welcome move.
I'm excited about the opportunity. They had an opportunity to put things on the lake or put a dome on it. With the alleviation of the Ford plant, we have the land and the opportunity.
Not going to be a season ticket holder anymore. Really? Yep.
Is it not serious?
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Well, the team's terrible, and now it's not fun to go to the games anymore. So, yeah, it loses its appeal.
Yeah, now, Christy and Russ, I talked to that guy. He was very adamant that he is not going to be a season ticket holder anymore. One, because of the move, and two, because the Browns just have not been playing their best this season. Now, a lot of fans are waiting to see what those ticket prices are going to look like if the team were to go to Brook Park or when they go to Brook Park. And I guess time will tell what those ticket prices will look like in the near future. Back to you all in the studio.
All right. Yeah, and no telling if part of his reason is that the team isn't doing well, will a move make the team do better? We'll have to see. Bryant, thank you so much. Go ahead.
And you know what, Christy, before I let you guys go, I mean, I'm also curious now about the Muni lot. I mean, a big part of the fans tailgating here in downtown Cleveland is the Muni lot. What's going to happen with that? So a lot of unanswered questions right now.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts, no doubt. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Bryant. We appreciate you. Listen, news of the Browns moving, it is a blow to local businesses downtown. These are businesses that thrive and survive off of the business Browns games bring. Giovanni Ligi is on West 6th Street right now. He's talked to some of those businesses. So, Gio, how are they reacting tonight?
Well, Christy, many of these businesses are still trying to recover from the pandemic, and finding out about this news, finding out that the Browns are going to be leaving is disappointing for them. This is a major hit they expect to take, and even though this is years away, they expect to lose thousands and thousands of dollars. The city estimating the economic impact could be in upwards of $30 million. So when you look at the environment here, Bryant also mentioned at the tailgating, this is an area here on West 6th where people come to celebrate. People come to watch the Browns games, and that's something they expect to still happen, but they don't expect the amount of people or foot traffic in this area. You know, when the Browns are playing downtown, people are staying at the hotels, people are eating at the restaurants for lunch and dinner. For those 10 home games, that's something they are going to lose, and they're also going to lose the foot traffic for some of those other teams that are coming in here as well. But they're really hoping the waterfront development can be turned into something so that way they can keep some of that revenue here in downtown.
Could be beneficial in the long run if they really put the space to use and maybe build it up into a family area or a park or a boardwalk, something that will, you know, generate income for the city and still be an attraction for people to come visit.
So once again, Christy, really just disappointing for many of these business owners, but they're looking forward to the future and what the city's plans are for that waterfront development. Christy.
All right, good to know, Gio. Thank you so much. And we're going to have continuing coverage on air and online. You can find the latest updates on WKYC.com.